you have a case of the winter blues? If you do, I sympathize with you because I feel it too. You know, the lack of sunshine can really wear you down, especially when it's cloudy day after day after day. I know people in my family who are tired of the cloudy weather as well. We are stuck in a sunshine shortage. It would be nice if we could actually break that. But we've put out an APB for the sun. You know, Green Bay has had cloudy skies 7 out of the past 8 days. And really, that's being generous because that one day where we didn't, it was at best partly sunny. The sun came out very late, and I think that was what, Sunday? So yeah, we've been just stuck in this gray stretch of weather, and it just doesn't want to break. You know, and sometimes this time of year, it's hard to shake the clouds. Part of that is because the sun is not very strong. It's coming in at a lower angle, and so it doesn't really, quote unquote, burn off the morning cloud cover very efficiently. The other reason why is that you tend to get colder air that's trapped near the ground and then warmer air above it. We call that an inversion. And so that tends to trap cloud cover near the ground as well. Those two factors often give us a lot of gray clouds this time of year. And then if you get lake effect clouds coming in off of Lake Superior or Lake Michigan, that just further complicates the whole cloudy issue. We're hoping to see some sunshine today. This is our satellite view, and I know towards the top of your screen it says nighttime satellite. You know what? I have to laugh. Aisha Morales is piloting things on this live stream behind the scenes, and she's responsible for having my name at the bottom of the screen. And she typed in there, "Where's the sun?" So, Aisha, nice job. That's awesome. So again, our nighttime satellite. Yeah, I know the sun is up, but most of this imagery that you're looking at here is from the overnight. And when you look at it, the blue there, that's the low cloud cover. It looks at face value like, oh, right there, northern Marinette County, there's some breaks in the clouds. And actually what's happening is that, you know, because we're trying to determine where the clouds are based on the temperature of the clouds and the temperature of the ground, that's an infrared satellite. With that nighttime satellite is picking up on high cloud cover that is streaming through Marinette County down towards Green Bay, and that is streaming above the low clouds below. And so that looks like a hole in the overcast skies, but it's not. It's actually high cloud cover over top of the low cloud cover. And now that the sun is up right there, now you can see it's high clouds that are streaming through it. It's not a hole in the overcast skies. However, we're hoping that today we will see some breaks in this cloud cover as a weak area of high pressure passes to our south. I'm optimistic that in the midday and the afternoon, in some areas of northeast Wisconsin, it'll turn partly sunny. Some areas of northeast Wisconsin. Not everybody's going to see that peekaboo sun, but where you do get it, rejoice and be glad. Try to take in as little sun as you can, and you know, expect that skies will turn cloudy again as we head towards this evening. So patchy sun, but even with a lack of sunshine, temperatures are, dare I say, outrageously warm for the last day of January. We'll see highs in the low 40s. You know, if you go west, out into Minnesota and the Dakotas, that's where highs today will be in the 50s and even the 60s. Normally there's a lot of snow on the ground out towards the Twin Cities, but their ground is pretty much bare. So here's First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. A lot of clouds. You see that? Little hole in the overcast skies in the north woods. And I think that's more likely to happen north as opposed to south. Southwest winds coming over some of the higher terrain in the north woods and then dropping in elevation. Generally, Oconto County and east could possibly create a few holes in the overcast skies. So we'll see. It's not a guarantee. There may be some breaks in the clouds farther south in the afternoon. Predictor hints at that for Green Bay and the Fox Cities. So maybe we get some of that patchy sunshine. But like I was talking about, after that, the clouds fill back in around and after 4 p.m. And tonight is looking mostly cloudy to overcast. So the high temperatures today, well above average. 26 is what we normally see for high temperature for the last day of January. Look at those highs. Low and even some mid-40s are possible. The warmest readings in central Wisconsin, about 42 in the Fox Cities, 43 in Fond du Lac, 41 for high temperature in Marinette. Depending where in northeast Wisconsin you are, our high temperatures will be about 10 to as much as 20 degrees warmer than average. You know, it's no wonder why a lot of the businesses in the North Woods who are reliant on the snow are suffering. You know, the ski resorts, for example, the snowmobile trails are looking terrible. You can't really keep a snowpack around, a healthy snowpack around, when you have such mild weather. And because of the mild weather, the ice thickness is deteriorating on the inland lakes. We heard the news out of Battle of Bago that they're going to be canceling that ice fishing event. You know, the other events will be going on, but that specific part of the celebration will not be happening this year. I thought I saw on Facebook, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, somebody was wondering, is this the first time this has happened? And I think somebody had answered their question on Facebook saying that it happened in 2017. So it's not unheard of, it's not impossible, but here we are in this El Nino-driven winter weather pattern. So yes, we should sneak above 40 this afternoon, but with a bit of a breezy southwest wind, our wind chills will feel more like the 30s. And this warm winter pattern, it's not going anywhere. Arctic air is trapped way north. I mean, up towards the Arctic Circle, where you would expect Arctic air. It's just that it's winter, and you normally expect blasts of Arctic air to head into Wisconsin and the Great Lakes. Now, I stopped our hemispheric view of First Alert Pinpoint Predictor. This is Saturday. And I want you to look at the jet stream. So the jet stream creates an S-shaped pattern. And what's happening is it's coming off the Pacific and diving down towards Texas and then curling back towards the northern Rockies, over towards Wyoming, and then up into Canada. That S-shaped pattern with the jet stream is something that meteorologists call a Rex block. Now, don't let me lose you on this highfalutin weather talk. So, right over top of New Mexico, see that little swirl there in the jet stream? That's an area of low pressure. That's a storm system heading towards the Gulf Coast. And then from Wisconsin into Western Ontario, that little curl in the jet stream is a high pressure system aloft. So you've got a low and a high. And what that's doing is that is acting like linemen on the Packers and blocking weather patterns from moving across North America. And it's locking up that Arctic air way north, up in the Yukon, up towards Hudson Bay, spilling over towards the Canadian Maritimes. Our high temperatures will be running well above average. Lots of highs, anywhere from the mid-30s to the mid-40s, all the way towards the middle of next week. Look at our temperature trend. Way above average. And warm enough where starting tomorrow and perhaps into the weekend, some of our high temperatures may be warm enough to come close to perhaps tying or even breaking record highs for this time of year. I tend to doubt it's going to happen on Friday, which is Groundhog's Day, because we dropped back to 36, but then we bounce back into the low 40s for Saturday and for Sunday. Now, with the warm weather like this and the melting snowpack, some of that moisture from the melting snow is going to refreeze over the next few nights and create a few icy spots when you wake up the next few mornings. That's more likely across the North Woods and less likely farther south. So your severe weather outlook is going to stay very low through Saturday, but I put the little slippery stickers in there because there could be a couple icy spots the next few mornings as we continue this repetitious melting and refreezing during the next few overnights. So right now it's cloudy in Green Bay. We're at 34 degrees, wind chill 26, southwest wind at 10 miles an hour. Today, fingers and toes crossed, clouds and patchy sunshine, mild but breezy, a high of 41, but the wind chill this afternoon will be closer to 31 as opposed to 41. Tonight, a low of 33, at and above freezing in most spots, mostly cloudy. There could be a few flurries in the north. The wind is going to settle down in the evening. And now, the First Alert 7-day forecast, and you can see steady as she goes as we cross into February. Except for maybe a few sprinkles or flurries tomorrow, it is looking dry. No big storms in sight. Snow lovers have to be cringing at that news. I just don't see it. I just don't. It looks dry. The clouds could give way to some sun at times, especially this weekend as a high pressure system kind of passes across the northern Great Lakes. But even then, I'm a little worried that the wind flow coming off of Lake Superior and Lake Michigan could create some lake effect cloud cover. We'll see. And next week doesn't seem like anything big to change the weather pattern as we see more clouds than sun and more warmer than normal weather. We are on pace. I'm cheating because I'm looking at some notes here. We are on pace for this to be the warmest winter ever in northeast Wisconsin, at least since weather records have been kept since 1886. As of the other day, Green Bay's average temperature is 29.2 degrees. That's the pace we're on. The average temperature, the highs, the lows, all the temperatures in between. The current record is 27.7 degrees, so about 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit above that pace. And when we say winter, we're talking about December, January, February, because we don't, as meteorologists, start on the winter solstice. We just count December, January, February for winter. And yeah, I know there's a whole month to go, but looking at that 7-day forecast, and even beyond that, all the way into the middle of February, there's a very high probability of warmer than normal weather. To me, it seems like it's inevitable that we are going to not just break this record, but shatter this record. And it'll be the warmest weather, or the warmest winter ever in Green Bay and northeast Wisconsin since, at least since 1886. That's because of El Nino. We've been talking about El Nino, the warming of the equatorial waters of the Pacific Ocean. That's the primary reason why it's been so warm this winter, El Nino. To a lesser extent, climate change. Climate change just helps to enhance what's going on, but El Nino is the primary driver. Anytime you want the forecast, anywhere you're at, use our free app. It's WBAY First Alert Weather. You can program it to do pretty much whatever you want, get the alerts that you want, and it's a fantastic tool. There's a QR code there on the screen, and if you are not watching this live stream on the app, you can go ahead and download that, and we would say thank you for supporting us. Coming up on Action 2 News at noon, meteorologist Bo Fogel is coming up, and he is ready to go, and he's going to update your forecast and give you some more tidbits and keep you in the loop on what's going on with our weather. So I feel like there's a lot to talk about, but not a lot to talk about. Selfishly speaking, for me and for the meteorologists, it's kind of a boring weather pattern. We would be more entertained talking about a snowstorm or an ice storm. Obviously, that doesn't benefit most of you watching out there, but I know a lot of our snow enthusiasts really would love to see that snow get replenished. But this is kind of where we're at, and you know, I've come to peace with it. I'm not a huge winter weather fan. Like I prefer warmer weather, but I know a lot of you do, and I think that's great. We need people to really be into winter weather, especially when it comes to you know, the activities that we do across the state and our tourism. It's really important, right? But I feel like I personally have come to peace and acceptance to this is how it's going to be this year. And I don't think next winter will be the same. I think it'll be different. But this is kind of where we're at right now, and I just don't see any big changes. So we're going to wrap this live stream up. Thanks for watching us, whether it's on our website or on YouTube or on Roku or on our apps or whatever. We are happy to serve you and your family wherever you are. Make sure you tune into Action 2 News mid-morning. That's starting in about 14 minutes from now. I'll kind of recap the forecast, and Catherine Bracho has got the latest on the news stories that are affecting northeast Wisconsin. And we appreciate you allowing us into your lives to serve you and your family. We want to be serving you, so thank you. Have a great day. Keep your chin up. I know with those clouds around, hopefully you see some sun later today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.